Today we are in my garden and we are talking about spring and what I'm planting and a few other garden updates. It is, in my mind, it's spring here already. Not officially on the calendar, but it's March, and I pretty much consider it spring once March arrives. So today I wanted to just talk about like the weather lately and show you some things that I have planted. And well, first of all, it's been raining on and off, a good bit. We have a lot of strong thunderstorms in the spring and in the summer, and we've had a few of those thunderstorms so far. So mentioning that because that kind of impacts what I plant and how I plant. If I know that, I'll check the weather, and if I know that there's like a heavy storm coming, I will not plant any kind of seeds, because they will just get washed away, especially in this little garden bed right here. The water runs down the hill from the top of the neighborhood through my fence and just basically washes this whole bed out. We've had a lot of pretty weather. The grass is growing, the trees are blooming, the pollen is everywhere, and I have been starting seeds already for the past couple months, but really getting ready to get started now. So I have these, which I've talked about before. These are floret dahlia seeds that I got a couple years ago, and I saved this pack. She did sell these, Floret's company did sell these again last year in the fall, but I didn't buy any more of these. I bought zinnias. So they only have sales like maybe every year or every couple years, and they close their shop. But anyway, so I took these seeds and I started them in little pots, and that's how I planted these last year. I planted these by seed and then let them get about 2 sets of leaves. So I planted these last year in little pots and let them get about 2 sets of leaves, and I think probably around end of April or early May, I planted these out in the garden, and they did really well. So I'm hoping, I've got these, I'll show you in a minute, in little pots, watering them, letting them get some sunlight, and hopefully these will germinate soon and I can plant these out in the garden. I did plant some, I did plant some Strawflowers again. I had planted some a couple weeks ago, and they are starting to germinate, but they're so tiny that you have to just kind of keep an eye on them. But I have these Strawflowers that I planted I think 2 weeks ago, and I just sprinkled down a few more because we had like a heavy rain. But if I end up not getting these to be able to germinate, I will just go either order or buy another pack. I think I got these at Walmart or Home Depot. Go buy another pack and plant those again to see if I can get some of these germinated, because these are so pretty. Speaking of the floret seeds, these are the floret zinnia unicorn mix. I am not going to plant these right now. I will probably plant these in April or May, but I just wanted to show these because I did order these in the fall. Again, they don't have their shop open year round, but if you go to their website, or you can probably sign up for like a newsletter to find out when they have their seed sales, because this is honestly one of the best and prettiest varieties of zinnias that I have ever planted. Another thing that I've been talking about probably in the past month or two are these. I already took these out of the pack, but this is the Costco Dahlias that I got. These are Thomas Edison Kelvin floodlight, and they get 39 inches and 35 inches tall. I have already planted the taller ones, the Kelvin floodlight back here. It said there were 4, and then it's 4 of the Thomas Edison, but today I'm going to plant the Thomas Edison. I will show you these in a second. I already separated these out last week, just a couple days after work. Last week, a couple days after work, I had some time. We spring forward. We had like longer days, so I came out in the garden last week. And separated these. This was my first time, well, kind of my second time ever doing anything with tubers. And so I had seen on other people's channels or just online to look for ones that had like a broken neck or that were rotted. And there were a few in each variety. there were a few in each variety that had, like, they were kind of rotted or looked moldy, and so I cut those off of the clump. I cut those off of the clump and tried to save only what was like good looking. So I pretty much had 3 of these, and I'm going to have 3 clumps of these. You can separate these to make more tubers, but since I don't have a whole lot of experience doing that, I didn't want to mess up. Since I don't have a whole lot of experience doing that, I didn't want to mess up the tubers and not be able to get anything to grow. There's always some fun sound in the garden in the background, which you may not hear that, but I'm pretty sure you can. And you still can. And my neighbor does like a lot of woodwork, so he's working, but no one's mowing yet. Planes are going over. We're gonna do this. Well, someone's weed eating, but we're gonna keep going. So I actually planted the Thomas Edison already, and then today I'm going to plant the Kelvin Floodlight. So I thought I had that backwards. We're in this like little lightweight soil, so I separated them. Well, I cut off the ones that were like broken. Like that one actually might be broken right there, but I cut off the ones that were broken, and then there were some that were moldy, and so I was left with 3, I think, pretty good sized little clumps. And see, these are sprouting already. So like this is the top, like the neck of the plant that grew before, and this is like a sprout. So I can tell that these are good. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna plant these today. But that is my first time looking at them and separating them once they have gotten to this stage. So you got sprout, there's the neck, which is the top, and then there's the little sprouts coming out. In a minute here, I'm going to show you some things that are already blooming. I have the dahlias from last year that I see a couple little leaves on. So I'm going to show you those. I have this dianthus that are back here that I planted last fall, and they are still alive. They got frozen a couple times, but I didn't cover them. I didn't cover them or anything, and they are still alive, and they actually have little pink blooms on them. Also, I want to show you the snapdragons, because I planted those also last fall, and they went through a couple freezes and an ice storm. I covered them twice, and that's it. And they really kind of just basically, the leaves kind of died back. In a minute here, I will show you the snapdragons, the dahlias, and the dianthus, and just show you what those look like. The other thing I wanted to show you was I have this little garden journal. Well, it's a journal, and obviously it's got plants on it. So I started using it for like a garden or like video planning journal. Last week when I was trying to plan out like what I'm gonna do this year, I started a list. It's a 2026 planting list. And so I put in January some of the things that I have attempted to plant. I did plant echinacea, blue fescue, crimson clover. February, black-eyed Susan, strawflowers. March, dahlias. That's now dahlias from Costco, floret, and cosmos. I have not gotten those yet. And then April, kind of an idea, like elephant ears, dwarf banana trees or plants, floret, zinnias maybe, and then more Johnny's zinnias. That's either gonna be April or May. Well, hopefully April, because I wrote it down in there. But anyway, this is gonna be like kind of like my planting guide, so I can keep up with what I've already planted. I can also do this on a calendar, but I like writing stuff down, so I can kind of keep up with like what I planted each month or what I plan to do each month, and then look back and go, okay, well that didn't work, and see, you know, try it again, or, you know, try it next year, or try it in a different season, because sometimes it's just a matter of the elements and the weather as to whether or not something is successful or not. So I'm going to show you the things that are starting to sprout already, and then I'm going to plant these Costco dahlia tubers behind me. The garden bed where I had the dahlia tubers in last year, I have a lot of crimson clover, and then this is just weeds basically. So this little area, I've got a little fence around it because my neighbor cats like to use my garden as a litter box. So I've got this screen over here because it's a big patch of soil, and they will use the bathroom in it, and then my dog finds that to be a snack. So, okay, right here, I am not sure, but I think this is a Dahlia tuber right here. I'm gonna take a picture of that in a minute. I have this app called, I think it's called Plant This. I'll try to, if I remember, I'll try to put that on the screen. This is definitely one because you can see, let's see if I can get it better. It's coming off of the stem. Like you have the old stem and then you have this coming out from the base. Let me see. I have a couple more. There's one right here, and one right here, and then one right here. So let me turn around. This one I just noticed yesterday. Right here, this is a Dahlia tuber. Right here at the base, there's some new growth, and then this is probably just some other kind of little seed. But there's some Dahlia tuber stems coming up from the base, so I'm so excited about that. Coming over here, I have my these are Shasta daisies, which are, you know, made it through the winter, second winter, looking good. I had cut those back, and now they're getting a lot of new growth. Over here, I have some snapdragons. They're my snapdragons that I planted last fall, and so those are coming back. And this whole little area is snapdragons that I planted last fall. Those have kind of, like I said, they kind of died back, just the foliage, and we sprouted all new growth this spring. The dianthus, I planted these last fall. I got these at the garden center, and they have new little baby pink blooms all over these. Quick, I want to share on this end of the garden, this is my little perennial area. So I have Shasta daisies, echinacea, and then my black-eyed Susans keep coming back. So I want to show you, I tagged all of my echinacea because they die down to the ground every year. And so you can see right here, here's one that it totally died down after it a frost, and I put a tag by each one with a popsicle stick, so I will know that it's not just a weed. There's one right here, I have one right here, and those are so pretty. They come back every year. It took me, you know, a full 2 years to get these to have blooms, so I'm really trying to like monitor these and take care of them to make sure that I have these every year because they are so pretty, and they bloom, you know, all summer into the fall. Okay, I kind of dug up like this whole little like channel. I don't know a better word, but like it's hard to see. This whole area right here, I dug it out to be about maybe 6 or 8 inches deep. But I'm gonna kind of backfill it with some of this topsoil, and then I'm going to dig out a little space for each of the tubers, and then I'm gonna fill it back in with garden soil. And for that, this is heavy clay soil. So the clay soil is like very dense, so you can't, you know, it holds water really well, but it doesn't drain. And some things are tolerant of that, and some things are not. But anyway, just to give the roots a better chance to grow and spread and develop, you know, that's why I decided to do that. I want to show you real quick before I cover these. I've got one right there. one right there, and one right there. So they are, I've got the stem, or the stem of the last, I don't know what I'm trying to say. The stem of the last one pointing up, and they're starting to sprout. So before it gets too loud again, I'm going to water these in lightly, and I've seen where I need to water them in, but don't keep watering them until they sprout, because it's going to rain, so I won't need to do that much anyway. I just don't want them to rot in the ground. So I'm going to water them a little bit today, and then I probably won't water them because it's going to rain, I think, this upcoming week. So I think it's going to rain this upcoming week. I won't have to water them. So that is all I have for today. I've posted a lot of videos so far this year about what I plan to plant this year, what I've already purchased this year, and things that I'm excited about planting again in 2026. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.